Today on Little People, Big World, we face the unthinkable. Beloved patriarch Matt Roloff has suffered a massive heart attack. His condition is critical, and he's been rushed to the hospital. How will the Roloff family cope with this sudden crisis? Stay with us as we bring you every raw, emotional moment of this family's fight for hope. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update on Matt's recovery journey. For over a decade, Matt Roloff has welcomed us into his world on TLC's Little People, Big World. As a fourth-generation farmer, Matt's passion for Roloff Farms is matched only by his dedication to his wife, Amy, and their 4 children. Together, they shared triumphs, heartbreaks, weddings, and new beginnings, always with honesty, humor, and heart. Matt's openness about living with dwarfism and parenting children of average height has inspired millions around the globe. He's a seasoned storyteller, a devoted husband, and a pillar of strength. Yet, on the morning of May 15, 2025, even a man as resilient as Matt could not escape life's most brutal reminder: we are mortal. It was a typical spring morning at Roloff Farms. The sun peeked over the orchard rows. Matt, ever the early riser, was out checking irrigation lines before dawn. But that morning, he felt something was off. According to family sources, Matt complained of chest tightness, shortness of breath, and dizziness. "I thought it was just indigestion," he later admitted. But when the discomfort intensified and pain radiated down his left arm, Amy knew it was time to act. Amy Roloff say, "He looked at me with fear in his eyes. I called 911 immediately. I've never felt so helpless." Paramedics arrived within minutes. They administered aspirin and oxygen, loaded Matt onto a stretcher, and rushed him to nearby Legacy Health Medical Center. His heart was under siege, and every second counted. At Legacy Health, a team of cardiologists was on standby. Dr. Elena Ramirez, a lead interventional cardiologist, prepared the catheterization lab for emergency angioplasty. Matt was wheeled into the cath lab. The angiogram revealed a 95% blockage in his left anterior descending artery, the so-called widowmaker. In medical terms, this is often fatal without swift intervention. Time is muscle. Every minute of delay can cause irreversible damage to the heart tissue. We had to open that artery immediately. The stent was placed successfully, restoring blood flow. But the procedure was only the first step. Over the next 48 hours, Matt was monitored in the cardiac ICU. His condition remained critical as doctors worked to stabilize his heart rhythm and prevent further complications. Back at Roloff Farms, news of Matt's heart attack sent shockwaves through the family. Daughter-in-law Tori and son Matt Jr. halted wedding planning. Jeremy and Audrey flew in from Portland. Zach and Tori Roloff dropped everything to be by his side. Zach Roloff say, "When I heard Dad was in the ICU, my heart dropped. He's always been our rock. Now, we needed to be his." Amy Roloff, ever the strong matriarch, coordinated updates to well-wishers. A social media post read, "Our Matt is a fighter. He's in good hands. Please keep him in your prayers." Within hours, thousands of messages flooded in from fans, friends, and former castmates. Even stars like Tori Spelling, along with countless fans, sent their love. The Roloffs felt the warmth of a community united in concern. What exactly causes a heart attack? Dr. Michael Chin, a cardiologist not involved in Matt's care, explains. Dr. Michael Chin say, "A heart attack, or myocardial infarction, occurs when blood flow to part of the heart is blocked, often by a blood clot. Risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, stress, and family history. According to the American Heart Association, someone has a heart attack every 40 seconds in the U.S., and nearly 17% result in death." Quick recognition of symptoms: chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, can mean the difference between life and death. Fortunately, prompt treatment with medications, stenting, or bypass surgery has improved survival rates significantly. Over the next days, Matt fought on two fronts, his heart and his spirit. The ICU stay was grueling. He endured chest tubes, IV drips, and constant monitoring. Nurse practitioners say Matt was in good spirits despite the pain. He kept joking with staff, which really helped his recovery. Family visits were limited due to hospital policy, but every window visit, FaceTime call, and prayer was a lifeline. Amy slept on a chair in his room, refusing to leave his side. Though on day 4 he suffered an arrhythmia scare, his care team quickly intervened. By day 7, doctors deemed him stable enough for transfer to a step-down unit. Matt, thank you for agreeing to speak with us. How are you feeling today? Matt, weak but smiling. Like I got run over by a tractor, but alive. Honestly, it's been humbling. You think you're invincible until reality hits. What was going through your mind when you realized it was a heart attack? Matt say, fear, confusion, regret. I wish I'd paid more attention to my health. But I'm grateful to my wife, family, and the medical team. What message do you have for fans watching at home? Matt say, don't ignore the signs, get checked, and cherish every moment with loved ones. We saw not the bravado of a TV star, but the vulnerability of a man confronting his own mortality. Later that day, the Roloff siblings gathered outside the hospital garden for an exclusive group interview. He's always been our guide. Seeing him so fragile was heartbreaking. Zach Roloff say, we realized how easily life can change. It brought us closer. Pop fought on this farm through every obstacle. Now it's our turn to fight for him. They spoke of faith, gratitude, and the legacy their father built on these very fields. With the immediate crisis behind him, attention turns to recovery. Cardiac rehab will begin soon, focusing on gentle exercise, dietary changes, and stress management. A structured rehab program increases survival rates by up to 30% and improves quality of life. Matt's openness to share this journey may encourage viewers to prioritize their heart health. He's scheduled to return home to Roloff Farms in the coming weeks, where a specially modified tractor ensures he can stay active without overexertion. Matt Roloff's heart attack is a sobering reminder. No one is immune to the unpredictability of health. But with quick action, expert care, and a loving support network, there is hope. More update. Roloff makes dirty and obscene discovery at $4 million farm and announces strict rules for renters. And Caryn officially quits the show. But why? I will explain everything. The Little People, Big World actor stated in December 2024 that he had decided to list the house on Aaron. While updating fans on the $4 million farm home on Tuesday, Matt, 62, seemed to regret his decision. Upon her return from her vacation to Arizona, the reality star's fiancé Caryn Chandler met with the celebrity to discuss the status of the rental agreement for the Oregon property. The TV personality claimed that visitors have been filming things in the former family home, though he isn't sure exactly what. On video, he told Caryn, "We are tightening down the rules on what people can do. No pornographic or otherwise inappropriate filming is allowed here." He insisted that was indeed the case. After Matt's future wife laughed, she asked how he knew what kind of recordings were being made. "Well, we wouldn't," he stated, "but it would show up, and somebody would say, 'Isn't that the Roloff living room?'" The admitting father continued, "People were filming, and we didn't know if they were filming like dirty, obscene stuff," in a subsequent confession. Although Matt had placed the Roloff Farms family house for sale earlier, he stated in October 2024 that he intended to convert it into a short-term rental property. "Well, we haven't sold it," Matt informed ET in an interview conducted shortly thereafter. "The truth is that right now, we are implementing Plan B. I think Airbnb has opened the door for all the families who wanted to see the farm, but couldn't bring themselves to commit to buying it to stay here for a short period of time. The property will be open to more people so they can stay for a week or less. Therefore, we're really pleased about that." Matt made it clear that he is seeking a renter who will see Roloff Farms as a labor of love when discussing the property. More people could have a real farm experience. We might even let them use the mowers so they can get a real feel of what it's like to do the work, according to him. The patriarch of the family reasoned that sharing the work of tending the farm with others would make it easier to handle the enormous property without constant assistance. That is the most terrifying aspect. It's terrifying because we're opening our home to strangers. What he finds most bothersome is the prospect of continuing to own the farm, and, more specifically, the thought that he will be personally responsible for its upkeep. Because that's the part I was trying to get rid of the most, was the maintenance. Even Matt's ex-wife Amy, who is 60 years old, may pay a surprise visit to the errand if she thought it would be helpful for the guests. I'm attempting to engage in a conversation with Amy with the hope that she would agree to host cooking classes at her house while guests are here, he said, making it clear that the idea had originated with his ex-fiancée Chris. As longtime viewers will remember, the family matriarch had tried to persuade her ex-husband to rent out the property, but he had initially declined. Amy harassed me with it and gave it some thought years ago. Because of it, she takes great pleasure in picking on me. Every aspect is satisfying. We've made light of it on a couple occasions, he remarked. The reality star's first decision to sell the property triggered a major family split when he and his children couldn't settle on an asking price. Disputes have ensued ever since, with Matt's sons Zach and Jeremy expressing their disapproval of their father's high asking price. Jeremy and Zach were keen on buying the property. More update. Matt Roloff reveals TLC reality shows Season 25 secrets, including rap date and shocking plotlines. And Matt Roloff wants to make Amy furious. But why? We'll explain everything. According to an eyewitness who spoke exclusively to the Motion 24, Matt Roloff revealed the season finale date and some of the family-related facts that will be revealed. According to the source, Matt urged his followers to a reading of Little Lucy Big Race, his 2018 book that drew inspiration from the family farm dog Lucy. Matt encouraged audience members to share their thoughts on the book and the Roloff's time on LPBW by asking questions after the reading. Season 25's plans were queried by a dedicated fan. In August, Matt announced that filming for Season 25 had wrapped. He then went on to admit that the Roloff family isn't always the first to hear when shows are set to air. A TLC host hinted that he sometimes reads about the show's premiere date in the news before contacting the production company. The show will not feature Matt's kids Jeremy, 33 years old, and Jacob, 26 years old, who he said would not be participating as they had already left the limelight. His son Zach, who is 33 years old, had emergency brain surgery in February and has since been experiencing health problems. Last month, The Motion broke the news exclusively that Zach and Tori will not be returning to LPBW for the next season. Matt revealed that health issues that come with dwarfism and Zach's continuing recuperation will be chronicled in Season 25. Several questions regarding construction on the property were also addressed by the Roloff family patriarch. He said, "I've been living in the one-story home, and when I move into the new house, Izzy and Jacob are going to move in where I was." The one-story house, which is part of the $4 million Roloff Farms, sits between the family home that has been shown on TLC and Matt's new dream home construction. At the same time, a fifth-wheel camper belonging to 27-year-old Jacob and Isabel has been parked on a privately owned piece of land adjacent to Roloff Farms, which is currently experiencing heavy construction. The price of a fifth-wheel camper home can range from $36,000 to $135,000, depending on its size and features. U.S. Sun reports that an informant had previously told them that Jacob and Isabel were staying there to help out with the farm and save money. The rest of the family doesn't mind, as Matt and Caryn get along so well with them. A second source states that while Isabel and Jacob work on the farm, Matt and his fiancée Caryn Chandler help out with the couple's son Mateo, who is 1 year old. Jacob values his father's generosity and works hard on the farm, according to the LPB.V source. Jacob has been busy with chopping wood, maintaining the pumpkin farm, and driving a farm tractor around with tools. Zach and Jeremy, Jacob's older twin siblings, have distanced themselves from the farm following a family feud, while Jacob has won over his father. Jeremy and his wife Audrey, who is 32 years old, have been quite busy moving to their new $1.5 million property. Renovating the fixer-upper is a full-time job for the two of them. Jeremy and Audrey left LPBLU in July 2018 and are now running their own podcast called These Are the Days. Zach and his wife Tori, who is 32 years old, now live in a mansion in Washington state that is worth $1 million. It's only an hour away from Roloff Farm. Problems began when Matt put the farm up for sale despite offers from Jeremy and Zach to buy it. Matt listed 16 of the 109 acres on the farm for sale in May 2022. The 16-acre property, which included the ancestral home and a striking red barn, was valued at $4 million by him. Matt decided to rent out the family house in October 2022, as initially mentioned in Move 24. In August of this year, Matt relisted the property and reduced the price. The TLC celebrity has put the farm up for sale again, this time asking $3.3 million, and it has been on the market for 2 months. Matt Roloff and Amy Roloff, who were a pair on Little People Big World, got a divorce in 2017. They had been a married pair before then. They have parted ways since then. While Matt is seeing Caryn Chandler, Amy is married to Chris Merrick. Many viewers of LPB think this is not the actual narrative, despite the fact that the them are often seen together on set. They often see how